In a bustling city where ambition meets tension, a young black man named Marcus walks confidently into a high-end office building, ready to start his dream job as a company executive. But before he can step inside, a routine moment spirals into something far worse. A white police officer stops him, questioning his presence in the upscale area. The interaction quickly turns to meaning, with the officer belittling Marcus based on assumptions and prejudice. What the officer doesn't realize is that this is no ordinary day for Marcus. The man he's humiliating is about to step into a leadership role that could change everything, including the officer's own future. As tensions rise and the story unfolds, the question lingers. What will happen when their paths cross again, this time under very different circumstances? Stay tuned to see how this life-changing encounter takes an unexpected turn. Marcus's mind raced as he stood there, enduring the officer's sharp tone and piercing glares. He had faced moments like this before, but today it stung differently. Today was supposed to be a celebration of his hard work, a step into a future he had fought so hard to build. The officer, Officer Reynolds, carried himself with a confidence that bordered on arrogance. To him, Marcus was just another young man who didn't belong in this part of town. Ignoring Marcus's calm explanations, Reynolds continued to press, his words dripping with judgment. Passers-by glanced but kept walking, their silence adding to the tension. What Reynolds didn't know, and couldn't have guessed, was that Marcus had been preparing for this moment for years. He wasn't just stepping into any job. He was stepping into a position of power that would bring him face to face with people like Reynolds in ways no one could predict. As Marcus stood there, every word from Officer Reynolds felt like a test of his patience. He could feel the eyes of onlookers, the quiet judgments, the whispers that carried just loud enough to sting. But Marcus wasn't about to let this moment define him. He kept his composure, responding respectfully, though his clenched jaw betrayed the frustration simmering beneath the surface. Meanwhile, Reynolds felt firmly in control. To him, Marcus's polished appearance and calm demeanor didn't match the story he had already crafted in his mind. Years on the force had taught him to trust his instincts, or so he thought. His assumptions had been wrong before, but he pushed those memories aside, doubling down on his authority. What neither man realized was how their paths were already intertwined. Inside the very building Marcus was headed toward, changes were brewing. Changes that would alter not just their lives, but the dynamics of power and perception they both thought they understood. As Marcus finally managed to step away from the confrontation, his mind raced with the weight of what had just happened. The officer's words still echoed in his ears, but he forced himself to focus on the task ahead. He entered the sleek lobby of the company, where his name was now etched into the executive roster. This was supposed to be his moment to inspire others and prove that barriers could be broken. But the encounter outside had left him shaken, a stark reminder of the challenges that still persisted. Unbeknownst to Marcus, Officer Reynolds wasn't done. He had followed Marcus into the building, his suspicions now piqued. When he saw Marcus being greeted by the staff with respect and admiration, his confusion deepened. The pieces didn't add up. Reynolds watched as Marcus disappeared behind the elevator doors, his own curiosity pulling him into a web of questions he couldn't yet answer. As the elevator carried Marcus to the executive floor, his thoughts shifted from the confrontation outside to the challenges of his new role. He knew the weight of his position. He wasn't just leading a team. He was representing a shift in how leadership could look and what it could mean for others like him. But the tension from earlier lingered, a reminder of the work still to be done. Meanwhile, Officer Reynolds lingered in the lobby, his curiosity transforming into unease. Something about Marcus didn't fit the assumptions he had clung to moments before. Acting on impulse, Reynolds approached the front desk, flashing his badge. "Who was that man?" he demanded, his tone still carrying the authority he wielded outside. The receptionist hesitated before responding. "That's Mr. Marcus Grant, our new vice president." Reynolds froze, his mind racing as he realized he had humiliated someone far beyond his own reach. And now he had to face the consequences. Moments later, Marcus stepped into the executive conference room, greeted by a round of applause from his new colleagues. The room buzzed with excitement as the CEO introduced him, highlighting his impressive journey and vision for the company. But just as Marcus began his first address to the team, the doors opened and Officer Reynolds walked in, escorted by security. The room fell silent as Reynolds locked eyes with Marcus. For a moment, neither spoke, the weight of their earlier interaction hanging heavily in the air. The CEO, unaware of the backstory, stepped forward. "Officer, is there an issue?" Marcus raised a hand to stop her, his voice calm but firm. "No issue," he said, meeting Reynolds's gaze. "In fact, I'd like a private word with him." In the privacy of Marcus's new office, the dynamic shifted completely. Reynolds, now visibly uncomfortable, stumbled over an apology. But Marcus didn't lash out. Instead, he extended grace, delivering a pointed lesson about respect and assumptions. The unexpected twist: Marcus revealed that his new position included overseeing community relations, where he planned to work directly with local law enforcement, starting with Reynolds's department. As Marcus finished speaking, the weight of his words hung in the air. Officer Reynolds nodded, humbled by the unexpected turn of events. "I was wrong," he admitted quietly. "I judged you without knowing anything about you. I'm sorry." Marcus accepted the apology, but didn't let the moment pass without making his point clear. "It's not just about me," he said. "It's about the countless others who don't get this opportunity to stand up for themselves. That has to change." In the days that followed, Marcus and Reynolds began working together to build bridges between the company, the community, and the police force. Their partnership, born from a moment of tension, grew into something neither had expected, a symbol of accountability and growth. As Marcus watched his vision come to life, he realized this wasn't just about a job or a title. It was about creating space for understanding, respect, and lasting change.